Charles Darwin once said something that most people misunderstand. He didn't say the strongest survive. He didn't say the smartest survive. He said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change." When Darwin talked about survival, he wasn't talking about who could lift more, run faster, or think deeper. He was talking about who could change. Life throws curveballs. Environments shift. Food sources disappear. Temperatures drop. And sometimes an entire world changes in a generation. And the creatures who survive aren't the ones who complain. They're the ones who adapt. Let's start with a creature everyone hates, but should secretly respect: the cockroach. Cockroaches have survived 300 million years. They're not strong. They're definitely not smart. But they're insanely adaptable. They can thrive in rainy jungles, hot deserts, and your pantry. They can survive radiation levels that would destroy humans. And when their environment changes, they change with it. Now let's talk about coyotes. Coyotes used to stick to hot deserts and plains. But as humans expanded, coyotes didn't shrink back, they expanded too. They learned to eat new foods, live in new climates, and even thrive in major U.S. cities. That's adaptability, turning obstacles into opportunities. Now, octopuses. Octopuses survive not because they're huge or armored, but because they can problem solve. They change color, shape, behavior, and strategy depending on the situation. When you can become anything your environment demands, you survive. Next is the Arctic fox. They face brutal winters, yet it thrives. Why? Adaptation. It changes its coat color for camouflage. It switches diet when food is scarce. It is constantly adjusting. Adaptability isn't just physical, it's behavioral. Now, mammoths were enormous, powerful, and well adapted to the Ice Age. But when the world warmed up, they couldn't adjust fast enough. It wasn't strength that saved species, it was flexibility. Last, pandas are adorable, but they're one of the least adaptable animals on Earth. They eat almost only bamboo. They struggle to live outside narrow environments. And when those environments shrink, they can't pivot. Specialization is great until the environment changes. So, what does this have to do with humans? Everything. The world changes faster now than any time in history. Technology, careers, relationships, culture, nothing stands still. And the people who thrive aren't always the strongest or smartest. They're the ones willing to evolve. I once knew a teenager who said, "Math is just not my thing." So every time she struggled, she shut down. She wasn't failing because she lacked intelligence. She was failing because she refused to adapt. But when she started using new study strategies, asking for help, and trying different approaches, she didn't get smarter. She became adaptable. The real skill is learning how to learn. Every time you go through hard things, anxiety, breakups, failure, you're being invited to adapt. Pain often comes from resisting change. Peace often comes from accepting and adjusting to it. If adaptability is the real superpower, how do we develop it? 1. Stay curious. Curiosity opens a door to new solutions. 2. Try things before you judge them. Adaptable people test ideas instead of shutting them down. 3. See change as training, not threat. When the world shifts, don't panic, pivot. 4. Don't get married to one identity. "This is just who I am" usually means I've stopped adapting. 5. Keep learning, always. Evolution doesn't reward perfection. It rewards progression. So remember Darwin's insight. It's not the strongest. It's not the smartest. It's the most adaptable who thrive. And in a world that's constantly changing, your adaptability is your real survival skill.